My fiance has a very close relationship with his mother, and I just met her for the first time, and I've noticed a strange uncanniness that I'm very similar to her, appearance-wise, and everyone else thinks so too, even mistaking us for siblings, so now I think my fiance might have only been dating me because he's in love with his mother. Posted by u/Throwerfreud. I, 24F, have been with my fiance, 28M, for the past 5 years and engaged for the past year. He's the love of my life, and we get along very well. He's always had a strange adoration for his mother. He usually talks about how smart, kind, and funny she is. I always thought it was sweet because I don't have a good relationship with my mother. He often said I have the same personality type as his mother too, we're both INTPs. During our whole relationship, I hadn't met his family. We live in Germany, they're in the US. We're currently visiting them now. When I met her, I really liked her. She's 64, so I didn't notice our resemblance at first, but when I looked at her wedding photos with my fiancé's father, I really looked like I could be her daughter. Even my fiancé's father pointed it out. We both have curly ginger hair and green eyes, and we both have bangs. We are a similar height and build. It's so eerie. If you compare a photo of her in her youth with me, we look like we could be sisters. His mother is also a fan of red lipstick. Guess what color the lipsticks he buys me are? Red. I asked a few friends what they thought, and they said this obviously can't be a coincidence. I decided to speak to him before bed yesterday, and I pointed out how similar I was to his mother. He shrugged and said people usually choose partners who are similar to their parents. I didn't believe him, but he showed me some articles on Google. I tried to let it go today, but I met some more of his relatives, and everyone is talking about how his mother and I look like we're related. His mother finds this whole thing cute and has said, "My son misses me so much when he's in Germany that he found my look-alike." How do I approach a conversation with him about this again? Or am I just overreacting, and should I let it go? I would love some advice. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Lamau, change your appearance and update us. Ops response. I am. I will be using some temporary dye on my hair. Commenter 2. Do you feel like you have a mothering role in the relationship? Ops response. I don't think so. He works more hours than I do and earns more, so he pays for most of our expenses. I handle most of the housework and cooking. Commenter 2. But isn't that traditionally the mother's role, cooking and cleaning? Commenter 3. I think you are reading too much into it. I would not stress over it until he calls you mommy during sex. Ops response. You're not going to like what I'm about to tell you. Op adds an edit to her post. A commenter told me to add this here. I didn't want to earlier because it's a bit vulgar, but he does call me mommy in bed sometimes. Update 6 days later. Hello everyone. I posted 5 days ago asking for advice because I realized that my fiancé's mother and I look extremely similar. Most of the advice told me to change my appearance, which is what I did. I managed to find a very nice wig. It has straight brown hair. His sister-in-law installed it for me. I've had it on for 3 days now, and my fiancé hates it. He's pissed at his sister-in-law for installing it too. I made sure it was a brown that suited me because I am very pale and everyone has complimented it but him. Even his mother said it was beautiful. My fiancé keeps saying it doesn't suit my complexion and that my ginger hair is much better. I made up a lie and told him that my hair couldn't deal with the water in the US. Germany has hard water, but the city my fiancé's family lives in has even harder water, miraculously, so I said my scalp was irritated. He bought a water filter. He refused to have sex with me because I didn't look like myself to him. I also stopped wearing the red lipstick. I wore a pink one instead, and all he did was ask if I had a new favorite. I told him that red was his favorite, not mine, and he agreed with that. Yesterday, I removed the wig so I could wash my hair, and he walked in on me installing it again. He said that I shouldn't put it back on because it looked terrible, and I rolled my eyes and laughed at him. After that, we had a conversation. He said that I looked so much better ginger, and he wanted to have sex because we hadn't done it in a few days because of the wig. I told him I didn't know how hair attached to a net prevented us from being intimate. I then asked him why he called me mommy in bed. Disclaimer, I do not enjoy being called mommy in bed, but I dealt with it because I love him. He gave the same response as usual and said it was a kink. I said I didn't like it, and he said that he wouldn't do it anymore, but he was disappointed because, as his partner, I should be supportive of his kinks. I said that I'd support others, but not this one. I then told him I found it extremely uncomfortable that I look exactly like his mother. I said I'd understand if we were both gingers, but we look so similar people have mistaken us for being mother and daughter. He immediately got defensive and said that it was just a coincidence. I told him that with the mommy kink, it was starting to look intentional. He then finally came clean. He said that he did decide to get to know me because I look like his mother. He said that he first took an interest in me, non-romantic, because the resemblance was uncanny, and he was intrigued by it. Then he said he fell in love with my personality, and that's why he decided to ask me out. So he wouldn't have asked me out solely based on my resemblance to his mother. I asked about the red lipstick, and he said that he liked red lipstick, and he asked his mother for a recommendation, so I guess that checks out. I then asked about him gearing me towards hobbies that his mother has. I like to crochet and bake because he first introduced me to those hobbies, and I found out those are his mother's main hobbies. He said that baking and crocheting are nurturing hobbies, and he wanted a nurturing partner. Since mothers are usually very nurturing, he wanted a partner with his mother's qualities. And about the wig, he just said he preferred my natural hair. I honestly don't know how to feel about all of this. On one hand, this is weird as F. On the other hand, his explanations kind of do make sense. I saw a comment on my old post from a ginger saying that she's dated a lot of men with ginger mothers, so I don't know if this means that this is normal or extremely abnormal. He's an amazing and loving partner outside of this, so I'm thinking of getting us couples counseling and postponing our wedding plans. One good thing that has come out of this is that at least I know I look amazing with brown hair too. I would like some more advice and thoughts on this. I'm still in the US with his family, and I still have my wig on. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Honey, he only gets aroused when you look like his mom. Why are you making yourself okay with this? He's literally conditioned you into being her doppelganger, then he lied to your face about it. Why is she okay with this? Don't ignore the ick feeling. This will get worse when you have children and you don't raise them exactly like mommy did. Get therapy for yourself, figure out if this relationship really serves you or not. How much of yourself have you changed for him? How much have you given up? Ops response. Why are you making yourself okay with this? I don't know, to be honest. He's my first everything, and we've been together for 5 years. Everything was perfect until I met his mom. I know that this relationship is a sinking ship now, but some part of me doesn't want to lose it. Why is she okay with this? She thinks it's cute. How much of yourself have you changed for him? How much have you given up? I don't think I've changed much, but I probably wouldn't be able to tell. Commenter. Honey, she's encouraging him to find a replica of her, and that's even more than before. You had hobbies before you got together. What were they? What about friends? 5 years is a long time. It's also a drop in the bucket compared to the rest of your life. You deserve a partner who loves you for you, not because of how much you remind him of his mother. If you stay with him, you are signing yourself up for a lifetime of being compared to her, a lifetime of trying to measure up. Was everything actually perfect, or were you perfect at doing what he wanted? What happens when you say no to him? What happens when you make your own plans? What happens when you change your hair? You've already learned that. He won't have sex with you. Now that you've pushed back against him a bit, for what sounds like the first time, he's revealing his true self to you. Do you really want to spend the rest of your life with someone who doesn't see you as your own person? You deserve better than this, truly. A good therapist can help you see that. Commenter 2. Who wouldn't be an amazing and loving partner to the young, identical version of their mother, who has unknowingly been groomed into taking up the exact same hobbies and wearing the same makeup to fulfill their mommy kink, literally every single day? This is beyond creepy. How long has he been preparing you to be his wife, mommy? Ops response. We've been together for 5 years. Commenter 3. How are you not on the first plane back to Germany? This is so creepy. Ops response. I looked at tickets and they're very expensive. I'm gonna call the airline to see if my existing ticket can be brought forward. Commenter 3. I'm not sure if this will be the case with international flights, but you can go to the airport and see if they can put you on standby, so if someone cancels, you can get on the next flight. Heck, call the closest German embassy and ask for help. You are trapped in an abusive situation, there's probably a protocol for this. Ops response. I'll see if I can get put on standby. My fiance paid for my original ticket, so the money loss is his problem. I haven't been threatened physically or abused, except some gaslighting, I guess, so I don't think the embassy would care. Op adds an edit to her post. I'm currently looking for a flight back to Germany. My narc mom is paying for my ticket, so I've just opened a whole new can of worms, but I'll be paying her back as soon as I get my next paycheck. I've packed up most of my things. Wish me luck on finding a direct flight. Commenter 4. Did you end up breaking up with your boyfriend, or what's going to happen? Ops response. I told him that I'm going back to Germany so I can have time to think. I'm probably going to dump him when he comes back. Editor's note. Op has not made any more updates since her last comment, dated October 15, 2022, 3 years ago, but I am assuming that based on the direction her comments were going, she made it back to Germany and dumped her fiance.